first official business that we need to do is to swear in the new president and the new vice president. Yes. And we're getting there. The secretary will be doing the swearing in.
Hello, everyone. Per our bylaws, when the office of president became vacant, our vice president, Sam Morehouse, automatically assumed the office of president, and Bill Hall has volunteered to assume the office of vice president, and the executive board approved him for that position. Tonight, we'll be swearing in these two new officers to serve for the remainder of the 25-26 year. So here are Sam and Bill. Okay, we haven't done it yet. I'm just finding my place on the sheet here. Hold on. So, officers-elect, the executive board of the Fort Worth Astronomical Society has shown confidence in your abilities by electing you to your respective offices. I now ask each of you, do you accept the office to which you have been elected?
I do.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I accept the office to which I have been elected.
I accept the office to which I've been elected.
I will perform the duties of that office to the best of my ability.
I will perform the duties of that office to the best of my ability.
And will, in all my actions, strive for the good of the Fort Worth Astronomical Society.
You followed me last time.
You're old and I've had a bad
And, and will, in all of my actions, strive for the good of the Fort Worth Astronomical Society.
Strive for the good of the Fort Worth Astronomical Society.
I will uphold and enforce the club's bylaws.
I will uphold and enforce the club's bylaws.
And will promote the purposes of the Fort Worth Astronomical Society.
And will promote the purposes of the Astronomical Society.
All of this I now affirm in the presence of the members assembled here.
All of this I affirm in the presence of the members that are here.
You can lower your hands.
Thank you.
Officers-elect, I now install each of you into the office to which you were elected and charge each of you to be faithful and diligent in discharging your responsibilities. Ladies and gentlemen, the elected officers of the Fort Worth Astronomical Society have been duly installed and will serve for the remainder of the 25-26 term. Now you can applaud.
And may the man upstairs help us all. Anyway, all right, this is going to be a lot. Am I? Okay. This is going to be a little bit out of protocol because we've got some business to attend to first so that those that can't spend the entire time with the meeting. I was going to do the slide and talk about it. I decided to do a movie because I can cut out all my he's and haws and pauses and make it only 6 minutes long, and it should answer all questions. Not necessarily, we'll have a discussion afterwards, so keep in touch. Roll it. This is what we presently have for mowing the Rising Star Observing Area field. We have an aging residential John Deere mower, not designed for acreage of the Rising Star Observing Area size. This mower has a 36-inch cutting deck. It needs overhaul maintenance and repair. So the decision was based on, do we spend the money to repair an aging, almost worn out lawn tractor designed for a yard, or do we make the purchase of a commercial grade mower, a zero-turn mower which is faster and easier to use, and hopefully more members will decide to cut the grass. It takes 4 to 5 hours presently to cut the grass at a height of only 3 inches. Any higher and it takes 6+ hours. Depending on the height of the grass depends how long it takes. I have actually watched Bruce spend 2 days mowing the field. It was when we built the doors separating the bunk area at Rising Star. I was there building the doors for Saturday and Sunday. The entire time that we were there, except for lunch breaks and common periods of time when he would come in to get some Gatorade, he was doing nothing but mowing the grass. Full day trip, 4 hours round trip drive time, 4 to 6 hours mowing time. Often experienced downtime with flat tires, which makes for a wasted trip. I know that Bruce has left home early in the morning to go out to the field just to mow it, because we might have something coming up on the weekend where a group would come out on a dark night. He would spend all day mowing the grass. The other thing is that presently we have an aging, limited group of members taking part in mowing. There was 4 to 5, now there's 3 to 4. I mow the grass if I go out there for an overnight stay, so that I have 2 days in which I can spend cutting the grass. I don't make a 160-mile one-way trip to mow the field. I just can't do that. Outside company mowing cost, because we looked at that. The company that has done most of the work at Rising Star for us, their mowing cost is $125 per hour, 4-hour minimum, would be $8,000 for the year. Last year's mowing, when we did it, were 16 mows. That's what that figure was based on. Tom Snyder put together this report. It was based on Bruce, Tom Snyder, and Tom Ross's research over, it's been a period of time. We just didn't make the decision in the last week. Like I said, Bruce started this project. Researched the John Deere, the Kubota, Hustler, Skag, Greenleaf, and Coyote mowers, looking for the lowest pricing and service availability. Very low-end transmission that allows for a very fast cut. Speed of the mower, availability of units, review of those units, different details on each unit, what options do they have for what we need, engine, transmission, how it was built, the seat, warranty, and the price. Finding was that we needed a commercial grade mower to properly mow 4 acres on a regular basis. We're now using the 36-inch cut mower deck versus a 52-inch deck with more power cutting. Would take 1.5 to 2 hours to mow the field. Someone could go out to Rising Star a little early prior to viewing and actually get the field mowed. The zero-turn mowers that met our needs was the Coyote, the John Deere, and the Kubota. The John Deere was the most expensive of what we were looking for. Coyote had most of the bosses checked. The service was not necessarily as well as what we found. Finding came down to the Kubota. It met all of the needs, had the closest service and the best pricing. It also had sealed wheel bearings, so you don't have to lubricate it, and a full suspension seat, which, you know, to the person mowing the yard really means a lot after an hour or so. 2 locations of sales and service, one in Abilene and one in Stephenville, are not that far away. It'd be easy. Trailer it into there. They would also come and get it, not probably, but they said that they would come and get it and then deliver it back, but there would be a service charge for that. Human Construction, who is the company that's done work at the Rising Star field in the past, has done service with Stephenville, and that's the one that they kind of recommended. Footnote here, Stephenville has also suggested that if the club would put their name on our website, you know, the board's got to meet on that, they would knock $400 additional off of the already good price they're giving us. Life of the mower is expected to be 2,500 to 3,000 hours. We put 120 hours in a year, so that would be 25 years life cycle of the mower. I will be making a motion to the members after we have a discussion. New Kubota 52-inch cut with Kawasaki 28 horsepower engine, $9,000. There's always something that you don't foresee, so I'm pretty much figuring let's expect $9,500. According to the treasurer, club has an emergency fund currently sitting at $20,000. I'm proposing 5,000 club funds, 4,000 fundraising that we raise. We've already have 1,500 pledges. Now, like I said, right now you've got 3 people that are regular mowers. Do the math. Note, this is what Bruce was looking at Friday before Saturday when he passed. He was going to present this at the next board meeting, which was March 10th, which is what I did. I personally have mowed the field when I was out there for 3 days one time. It was the first time I mowed it. And actually had to call Bruce to ask how to run the mower. There were buttons here and levers there, and to me it wasn't real simple. I have a 0-turn mower that I use on my 2 acres. It took me longer than the figures that I've just reported to mow the grass. It was a little bit more than 3 inches, but that's the nature of the beast. So I'll close with that and ask any questions. Thank y'all. Yes. And do we all checking spelling? Because that's my weak point. Yeah, okay.
We're up to 2,500 on pledges.
Say again?
We're up to 2,500 in pledges.
We're up to 2,500 in pledges. And so I don't think that's going to be a problem. Yes, what I missed, Tom?
Yeah, the Kubota has a 3,600 transmission, which is a heavy-duty transmission.
Oh, yeah.
All the other ones on the list had a 3,200, which was not
This thing can run at 10 miles per hour.
the same. And it will cut up to 5 inches. It will just cut it through like butter.
Yeah, 5 inches of grass runs 10 miles an hour, so, yeah. Yes?
I would consider, if possible, getting an awning over to shelter whoever's mowing from the sun.
Let's get the tractor, then we'll add the options.
Well, it may be an option.
You should have seen Bruce. He had a hat that was like this big around, and he was out.
The other thing I would consider is some kind of a bagging arrangement to pick up the grass.
Well, then that's killing us in time. From experience, the way that length of grass, you're going to be stopping every 15 or 20 minutes and having to run to a corner to dump it.
Either that or you gotta mow it frequently.
Well, that's the whole key of buying one that runs 10 miles an hour. Yes, Tom?
One of the options on this mower, and I think it's $400, I'd have to ask again, there is a mulching option for that mower. The mower does have like a roll bar on it, so getting a shade probably wouldn't be that hard. The other interesting option that we're looking at, we kind of joked with the guy, he said he'd knock $400 off, and I said, well, gee, that's the price of getting solid front wheels. The back wheels are pretty beefy, so I doubt that the mesquite spine would go through the back wheels, but we definitely want to get the front solid wheels.
Yeah, that was the other thing I failed to mention. We're definitely going to get solid front so they won't go flat because they're the thin tires. Yes, Bob?
So, I've had conversation with Tom about puncture proof in the back, and I've spoken with, I used to run Talcott Frenching when I was younger, and I've spoken with some folks that were neighbors to me, and they all run Kubota, and they all said it's worth the investment.
We can check the price on that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's an option.
they said that they look beefy, but mesquite will get through. And once it's through, the leaking's gonna start.
Now, first time we get a flat, we're getting solid wheels.
Well, I got the guy down to $8,400.
Okay, so now we're down 8,400 and we're up in pledges to 25. So, yes.
Having run property management before and had a number of SCAGs that were anywhere from 38 to 52 inches, absolutely spot on with the repairable, puncture-proof, self-sealing back tires. They will pay themselves off immediately. So I highly recommend that you get those with the first purchase. I've burned through a half a dozen tires.
Okay, yeah, we're seriously considering that. As like right now, this is growing time. It rains, it gets warm, the grass goes like this, so it's gonna have to be frequently mowed. Mowing the field is not the issue, it's when we go down the driveway and behind the bunkhouse where the mesquite trees are, that's when we run. But we have a hand mower that we're right now presently getting not repaired, but getting serviced. And we'll use the hand mower for the mesquite areas and keep the Kubota out in the field where it won't get punctured. But I'm all for that, I want punctured tires all the way around.
I also highly recommend you don't get anything wider than 50, 52 inches. The wider decks, they have problems with uneven ground. It's very level where you guys are,
Yes,
but it just, if you get anything, you can dig in, and that's
Yep.
why a little bit lower to 50 inches.
yep, yes.
For that, we didn't know that. That's great.
This is gonna seem like a really silly question, but I'm serious. I have not been up at the dark side for a very long time.
Uh-huh.
If we do get a big honking mower, will it fit any shelter?
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
yeah, we've got that measurement down. Yes, it will. Yeah, that was, when I went out there last week, that was my first question when I first found out about this. And I just went, yeah, because I use a zero turn on 2 acres. And I go along and I'm looking at the guys down the street that are the mowing, and they're going like this. And I go, why won't mine do that? It's not a commercial grade. And it doesn't have the transmission that they researched out. So anyway, anything else? Okay, I make a motion, and I got the board's permission to make the motion to the members.
What is the minimum amount of donations?
Well, I don't know that I have, personally myself, I don't have a minimum amount of donations. The more we, go ahead.
I've heard 4,500 in donations, and Tom says we have 2,500 in hand.
No, we were shooting for 45,
We-
but we have 25 actual pledges.
So what is exactly the motion going to say?
The motion is to purchase the Kubota as presented on the last slide with the modifications of an additional $500. We can come up with that through donations, that's fine. I think there's no problem with that, so that'd be 4,500 in donations, in fundraising, and 5,000. And we may not spend that. It just depends, you know, that whether we get the tires, we don't get the tires, or what. But the basic motion is to purchase the tractor and the mower.
$5,000 of our money and 4,500 in donations.
That's correct. That's correct.
I thought we came up with a 9,200. Didn't we come up with a 9,200 price ceiling at the executive committee? But we weren't talking about back wheels now.
Right. We'll be covered with 5,000 from the club and 4,500 in donations.
I want to know how much we're going to spend. What is the maximum?
I don't have the receipt from the ticket after we cash out, so I don't know the exact penny figure of what we're going to spend. 5,000 from the club, 4,500 in funding. That's 9,500, which is my high end of what I presented on the screen.
As it stands today, they quoted 8,500, another 400 for the wheels. We don't know what the awning costs. Very tough ceiling, so figure 92 to 95 on the high end, less 2,500. So the club's got to come up with $7,000.
Is that with tax?
No taxes.
No tax, we don't have tax. Yes?
Does the motion have a specific top-end amount?
Well, that's what we were talking about. Yes, it does. 9,500.
Round it up to about at least 10,000.
9,500 is the top. That's the ceiling.
So that if there's some unforeseen event, whoever's doing the purchasing doesn't say, I can't go there.
I guess the issue is getting the back wheels.
Yeah, from what they're presenting, we're under that figure. For what Kubota,
Saying put some margin on it for unforeseen.
any unforeseen additions in auxiliary equipment will have to go to the board to be funded otherwise. We're just talking about trying to get a mower to mow this field before the grass gets out of hand.
So if I remember correctly, the cap at the board meeting was 9,200.
Fine, you want to set it at 9,200? We're under that figure with, We're under that figure right now.
No, we gotta put the
This,
solid wheels on, that's gonna be $300 to $400.
That's why I'm saying, what's the mark down?
this is stupid. This is why I want to be president. All right. Where are we? I don't even know where we are anymore. Yes.
I don't see how we're gonna be able to have a motion on money we don't have yet for $4,000 of donations when we only have 2,500.
We've done that in the past.
Okay, well, I mean, I would feel better if we just set a cap and we took the donations and then whatever else we don't have, it's gotta come out of the fund, you know? Because how can we say we're gonna have $4,000 donations when
Yeah, 3,000.
we got,
So now we're up to 3,000 donations.
Okay. All right. The board has approved 9,200. We approved 9,200. That's done deal. So, yes.
So we're up to 3,000 now for donations.
Sorry, we're up to 3,000 in donations. And I haven't even finished making the motion because of all this. Right? I don't think it's going to be a problem, guys. I don't know what the issue is, but that's just me.
The motion needs to have in it anything about the donations.
Okay.
It's 9,200 to buy the mower. If we get donations for it.
Case in point, when we were a smaller club and we bought a solar scope, we went ahead and bought it, and then we received donations over a year's time and got us paid for the solar scope. So we bought it, and then eventually we paid for it out of ongoing donations.
Okay. How about this? Motion for $9,200. Do I hear 93? $9,200 that the club buys the mower. Any fundraising can go toward refunding the club. Thank you.
I still say it's a different motion than was passed at the board.
Board meeting passed 9,200. I've got it on video. I copied my own video.
What's the difference? It's 9,200.
9,200.
There were other things attached.
Okay. We got a second. All those in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Raise your hand. Raise your hand because we have to count them.
Aye.
Aye.
Hang on, guys that are on Zoom. He's counting the screens. What do we got?
How many? 9. Okay. 40.
Aye.
40 in favor. All opposed?
All opposed?
Hands up. Anyone opposed? Anyone online opposed?
Now, what we? What's?
We had the quorum exactly.
Aye.
All right, we had the quorum, so the motion passes. Give a hand to Tom. He's done he hadn't done all the research, but he did a lot of research and a lot of work on this. He told me earlier, he says, I'll go out and mow the field. I won't be happy about it if we don't get this, but I'll still go out and mow the field. So thank you all all. Let's get into the normal program. I'll get back on my spot. Where's my spot? There it is. Okay. Welcome to the general meeting. 27 minutes late. That's not bad. Next slide. Y'all keep me in track if I miss something, okay? Any visitors? Yay! We got a couple of them. Does this work? Yes. Hello? Tell us how you found us and share your astronomy journey and what astronomy equipment do you use, if any?
There you go. My name is Chuck Dolby. I'm with the Parker County Abandoned Cemetery Association. I looked at the website and I was trying to schedule a star party at one of our cemeteries out there to have you guys come out, but I couldn't do it, so I came to the meeting. So I have been in and out of minor little bits of astronomy through my life. I've owned binoculars, which I use, and have to put on a tripod now that I'm shakier. I did get, and this may be blasphemy in this group, but one of the S50s. Do you guys? Oh, okay. So I'm not going to get thrown stuff in. Okay. I got one of those for Christmas, but then I got bronchitis, pneumonia, and pleurisy, and haven't even opened it yet. Yeah, oh, that was terrible. So that's it. Any questions, comments? Or we have 78 cemeteries. If you want to know mowing, I will hook you up with mowing.
Anybody else? Other visitors, raise his hand. I saw one.
Well, I'm not necessarily a visitor, I guess, because I joined last week. So
Well, your name comes up next.
Oh, okay, I'll wait for that then.
Next slide.
We should take care of Scott Dolby. I've known him for a
While.
We played hockey against each other,
Oh, no, hockey.
and I scored a goal off him.
Oh, right, Bill.
Probably several.
All right.
He was crying hard.
Money's been laid down, right? Right. These are our new members. Now you got to go back with the mic and give it to our new member. Are you the only one? Any other members, new members here other than? No? Okay. Oh, new member right there. Go ahead and hand it to him. Same scenario.
Hey guys, how are you? My name is Dacio Rivera. I heard about the club from my friend Dirk. I've been observing with telescopes for most of my life. I started out with a small refractor with my dad when we were observing the Halley's Comet. And then after that, many years after that, I got back into astronomy with an Orion XT8 and a Dobsonian. After that, I just started acquiring aperture fever, and then moved into a 12-inch Dobsonian. Currently went up to a 16-inch Hubble Dobsonian, but I own several Maxitobs, SCTs, a few refractors, way too many. I have a problem with telescopes. My little room is full of them, and every now and then I try to get rid of them, and then I end up acquiring more. So I figured that if I was to meet other members, maybe they could help me get rid of some and acquire a few more, probably.
Welcome to the club. Good to have you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Albert, and I just joined, and I've got a 6-inch SCT. I've been doing this for about a year and a half now is all, having a good time learning and trying to figure out how to look at things. Heard about y'all and especially interested in the dark sky site. Probably won't be able to attend many meetings, but I'll try to attend by Zoom when I can.
By the way, that second slide of the video of the night sky was one I took at Rising Star with my Nikon 850 camera and a 200 millimeter lens. That was not space. That was what we see at our dark site. Okay, anybody else online, new member? Okay.
All right. Well, my name's Rick Hoying. I'm Richard Hoying up there, but I go by Rick. Got a telescope for Christmas when I was 14 years old, and been interested ever since then in astronomy. But over the years, trying to take pictures of the stars with buying various contraptions to hook to the telescope just became so expensive that I gave up on it for many, many years. Well, I retired just recently, a couple of months ago in November, and wanted to get back into it. So my kids got me a telescope, one of those, actually it's a Dwarf 3. Got me one of those for my birthday last month. So that kind of got me sparked into a new interest in the hobby, and in my research I found you guys somehow. I don't remember how it was, but decided, you know, I was looking for places to go camp where the sky was dark, is what I was doing. And it was Fort Griffin. You know, then that was one of the good spots that's close by. I've already got a trip planned for Big Bend to get down there to do some observing and take some pictures. But I ran across you guys and thought, boy, that's perfect. You know, it's only 2.5 hours from my house, and bop out there, you know, on a periodic basis and have some dark skies and some people to talk shop with who I can learn from. So I know a little bit, but I'm still a beginner, I would call myself.
Welcome. Me too. I'm right with you.
Thank you.
Right, next slide. Oh, boy. Okay. About the Fort Worth, these are pretty much the covers. The Fort Worth Astronomical Society was founded in 1949. We have 240 members. I had to change that today, which is over 350 individual members because of family membership. We are one of the largest astronomy societies in the United States. Our club members are wide-ranged in experience. We have the sun, the moon, the planets, whatever you're interested in, astrophotography. If you need help or have questions, we have someone that can help you. Just, if you don't do this, you won't get any help. So, you know, ask the questions. We have many members who are willing to help, like I said. We're a nonprofit organization too, which really helps when you're buying mowers. Next slide, please. Our mission is to promote astronomy via public outreach programs. We have several going on. Encourage and support groups of interest in astronomy. By the way, quick footnote, before I took the solar eclipse picture back then, I didn't even know how to spell astronomy, much less have any interest in it. But this club has perked my hairs on the back of my neck to get involved. The promote building of astronomy and instruments, have some members that actually build their own telescopes, and make club equipment available to members. Bruce left us everything. So we still have to pull inventory. Sorry. Sucks. We don't have any bunkhouses anymore. They're full. So Saturday, I think we're doing an inventory. Yes?
I don't know if anyone's considered this, but as long as we're all here, do you think we should all sign a thank you card on behalf of Bruce for his family? Or is that already in the works?
It was something we didn't think of at the time, but pretty muchly, we kind of made an early decision that we would leave the family to get over this a little bit before we, you know, approached them with anything and kind of left them alone. But maybe next meeting, it might not be a bad idea to bring a card and sign it. Absolutely. So let's get on with that. We got a lot of stuff to go through inventory, so we're going to have a lot of equipment to loan out and have people use. Next slide, please. Okay, for resources, we have member handbooks, Thompson Observatory, the Rising Star Observing Area, club telescopes and eyepieces, and us on. Hang on, oh, there we're back, Yay. Okay, this is a. Hello, I'm back. What do you think? Okay. This is the Rising Star Observatory. This is kind of how we have it laid out. You'll enter on a dirt road that's over there as you're looking at the picture, your left side. It comes around. What says astronomy building is normally we have 2 bunkhouse sectioned in there for staying, and that's kind of our equipment room. The club pads, RV parking area, maintenance building is back here. That's where the lawnmower is going to be kept. The green building is where we have a, how do you say it? Composting toilet. So it's interesting, but it works. The only thing I say about this is if you use your GPS to come out here, your GPS will stop short and tell you you're there as you round a corner. Keep going and look for the sign on the left. If you reach a point that starts to turn again, you just missed us. But just keep looking to the left. And there are the pads. Yeah, big yellow sign. Everything that is open is available to set up. So if you come out, you want to set up right here, you can set up right in the middle of the field if you want to. Or you can set up at any of the pads. Next slide. Yay. This is one of the telescopes we have available. If I knew anything other than my equipment, I could probably describe it, but I'm still new to this stuff. I just bought my second thing, a pair of binoculars at 25 by 100, so we'll see. Next slide. Okay. This is some of the online sites that you can go to. When I first started here and coming as members, I found my camera was very handy on my phone to capture all this stuff. That's kind of what I did, accommodate that because Bruce would recite this over and over and it would go here and out there. I'd lose it by the time I got home. Next slide, please. Okay, additional information, well, info. There we go, that's better. Club membership, need additional info about the club, there's the site. Join our club online, there's the information. Next slide. By the way, all this is being recorded, so this will be online for reference if you want to go to that. Tonight's presentation is our own Cy, and he's going to take over now.
Give me that one. All right, tonight's presentation is going to be on the Astro League and on observing programs. And I'll keep talking. And I know we're kind of running a little late, so as Henry VIII said to each of his 6 wives, I won't keep you long. All right, next slide. Who knows about the Astronomical League? A couple hands. How many guys are members of the Astronomical League? All raise your hands because part of your dues go to that. So we're going to explain all what that is. Next slide. The league's been around for 80 years, since 1946. It's a National Astronomy Society. It kind of shepherds some of the other clubs around here. It has all the same type of similar functions that we have. Next slide. If you go on the website, there's various things. Oops, there we go. So they have a sales store, they got awards, they got the observing programs. I'm going to talk about them in detail tonight. Reflector magazine, they have an annual convention, and there's a bunch of sky charts and other tools that you can use, which are real helpful. Next slide. All right, I'm not going to go through all these awards, but they got tons of awards for young astronomers, various things. They also have one for the newsletter, of which we've got second place in that competition for 4 years and third place for 2 years. And our website, Sean won the Webmaster Award in 2015. Next slide. Useful tools. There's a whole bunch of online tools. I'm not going to go into all of them in detail, but there's a lot of good stuff. This one here I'm going to talk about a little bit later. It's What's Up Doc. It tells you what's happening each month. A lot of good stuff. Next slide. So What's Up Doc? Central Time. I actually have, I'll show you what that looks like in just a little bit. Next slide. Here it is. So for March, if you're looking through any of the various programs, the Naked Eye one, here's the meteor showers that you can see. Here's the constellations you can see for that observing program. They're up in March. Next slide. If you're doing a binocular program, Messier, here's the ones you can see during March. If you're looking for the deep sky, here's the ones you can see. Now these numbers go to the Herschel and Caldwell and NCC, but they get a separate number in their manual. It makes it easier to find them. Other programs, Messier Marathon, we're going to talk about that tonight. The Caldwells and the double stars. These are the ones you can actually see during this month. Next slide. Planetary programs, this tells you where you can see Mercury, Sun, various things, Ceres, Jupiter, all the planets that you can see, and various asteroids for those programs. Next slide. If you're doing a lunar program, here's the things that tell you what you can see during what times, and then here's the major astronomical events during this time frame. So it's a good little chart. I pull it up every month to kind of see what's going on, see, hey, I forgot about that lunar eclipse. I got to make sure I go see that. Next slide. A lot more handouts and useful tools. If you want to learn something about Jupiter, light years, magnification, all kinds of useful tools. Next slide. More handouts. Next slide. And other observing tools. And a lot of these are geared toward their observing programs. Like the one I have highlighted there, lunar features. That little book will show you where to find all these little lunar features, ridges, valleys, and such in there. Nice little book, 20 bucks maybe. Next slide. Every year they hold a convention, annual convention somewhere. This year it's in Cincinnati, August 12th through 15th. I actually went to the one in Minneapolis, 2016 or 18, I can't remember where it was, but the Minnesota Astronomical League put on a nice, they had a nice facility up there. They had 3 separate facilities, observatories that you could go to during the time frame when you were out there. It was real good. Brandon Hamill actually was part of that, set that up, and then he came down here afterwards. Next slide. Reflector. So, every quarter, they produce Reflector magazine. Now, depending upon how you signed up on our website, you either get an electronic copy or a printed copy. They start printing them again. Or if you signed up and didn't want anything from the Astro League, you get neither. But here's a copy of one of the recent reflectors. As you can see, it's got all kinds of articles. It shows what awards have been given, and then people get to submit their pictures. Next slide. As you can see, that's the front page of our own Sean Paul right there. That was his picture of the solar eclipse from September 2024. He made the front page. I made the back page back in 2014 of the annual eclipse in 2012. Next slide. Same lunar eclipse. That's Matt's picture as it was setting later in the year. And then a couple years later, there was a partial solar eclipse. And Laura Calls took that with a 3-inch refractor with her phone looking through it. And she made the back page on that. So if you got pictures, you can submit it to them as well. Next slide. All right, online store, they got a bunch of things. I'm not going to go through them all. They got stickers, bags, books, calendars, clothing, mugs, observing manuals. I'm going to talk about some of them, like I just showed you this one right here. But if you're looking for you want to do the Mars observing, there's this one. You want to look at clusters. They got the various books to help you out. Messier objects, very helpful. Next slide. So I'm going to talk about the observing programs. They got like a bunch of them. Next slide. Various members in the club have actually completed various observing programs, and this is a list of the Fort Worth guys. Next page. What's that? You can see that Ben Hudgens has done several of them. Bruce had completed the lunar observing. Next slide. Danny Arthur's done quite a few. Doug Brown, quite a few. Next slide. One of our young astronomers many years ago did the Sky Puppy Award program. Next slide. Other people in the club. Next slide. I was talking about Lowell with some of you earlier. Lowell used to come here a lot. He did several of these. You can see a bunch, and he continues on the next page as well. Lowell did quite a few of them. Next slide. Yep, there we go. And then Preston Starr, who's part of the club, we used to use his land up by Ranger, Texas. Next slide. Ron DeLulio. Robert Cargill's done a couple. Russ Boatwright. Next slide. Sean Kirkdorfer, a couple. I'm halfway through the meteor observing program. And next slide. All right, so, a lot of people done this. They're real fun to do. It takes a while. You can't do them overnight. You can't do them. It takes about a year to go through them because it's in various parts of the sky and you only can see during certain times of the year. Next slide. All right, so of the observing programs, there's actually 88 separate ones, plus 4 special ones. One of them being the outreach. This one's easy to do. If you go to a star party and you log in your time, if you do 100 hours of star party time, you can get an award for that. Next slide. We'll talk about that. This is all of them listed alphabetically. I'm just going to point out a couple. The asterisms, that one's kind of cool. You have to find out all those weird little star formations in the sky, like the coat hanger and a couple other things. But that's a fun one to kind of see. Next slide. I'm going to talk about the Messier observing program, but this is the monocular one I've been working through. Next slide. All kinds of things, double star program, deep sky with binoculars. Next slide. You can look at Herschel objects, Jupiter observing program, hydrogen alpha, you can do a bunch of stuff on that as well. Next slide. Lunar observing program. I know that Tom Schneider's working that right now. And this book helps you get through all that. There's various things you got to see on the moon and log or sketch. And Messier observing program, which I'm going to go through here in a minute. Next slide. And outreach, that's the one I was talking about. If you log your star party time in, you can qualify for that. Next slide. And just a bunch more. So 88 different programs. Some are more complicated than the others, but they're fun to do. Next slide. All right, Messier observing program. I've been working on this one for about 3 years. It's just maybe a little bit longer. Surgeries have kept me from going out and doing all the things. I got about 18 more objects to actually see, and I hope to do that in the next 2 months. So when you're logging the objects, to get the first level, you have to log 70 Messier objects. And you got to make some specific annotations while you're doing that. First is date and time of the observation, latitude and longitude, scene and transparency, aperture size of the telescope, power used, and a little description of what you see. Now to find your power, you divide your telescope's focal length by the eyepiece millimeter size. So my 8-inch SCT with a 25 millimeter eyepiece is 2032 divided by 25, or about 81 times magnification. That's just things you got to log in there. Next slide. Oh, to get this, you have to have your logbook examined by an astronomy official. I am the correspondent or the liaison for Astronomical League, so if we work through them, I'll check your work and send a message that you've completed part 1 or part 2. Next slide. Now in the Messier objects, you have to get all 110 of the Messier objects. And again, it has to be signed off by me or some other official. But the big note, you can't use a GO2 on this. You have to star hop. So you can't use a GO2 telescope. But there's a workaround on that if you only have a GO2 telescope. Not that it's cheating, but I'll show you how to work around that. Also unacceptable are smartphones that you can stick on your telescope or on your Dob or whatever, and it tells you which way to go. You know, the only thing you can actually use is your telescope, telrads, or finder scopes, or like a dot pointer to help you point things in the sky. And the purpose of the no-go rule is so you can learn the sky. You know, so now I can find Andromeda. Could never find it before. So it's helping me find various things in the sky. Hey, there's M51s right up over there. So it's a way to make you learn the sky. Next slide. All right. So if you got a Dob or some non-GO2 type, I'm sorry, I'll get back over, some non-GO2 type telescope, you can just go to the thing in the sky. But if you got an SCT, it makes you go through some type of alignment. Well, there's a way to cheat that. So you can do a polar alignment, 1-star, 2-star, solar system alignment. Next slide. So what I do is I choose solar system. It's like I know Jupiter's up tonight. So I'm going to pick Jupiter. All right? And then rather than going Jupiter, I'm just going to go and find my object in the sky. Because the reason is if I go to Jupiter and I align it to that, And if I want to move across the sky, it moves very, very slowly. Like it's going to take you 5 minutes to go 180 degrees. But if you keep it in the I'm still searching for Jupiter mode, it whips around pretty quickly. All right. So I adjust the view to go to the object, never really accepting the object. You know, I look at what I'm looking for. I'll show that in a second. And then I observe the object, and then I pretend to go to Jupiter again while I'm going from M51 to M83. All right. And occasionally I'll reset my telescope just to make it work again. I know, Pam, you had a question on how I was doing that one time, but that's how I cheat the system on my 8-inch SCT. Next slide. All right, so there's all kinds of tools out there that you can use to help you find the Messier objects. I use Stellarium because I'll use my laptop or my tablet, and I'll go, okay, there it is. I need to find that. I know the stars are right here. I'll show you that in a second. You can use Sky Safari, Night Sky, manual charts. Like I said, the first thing I'll do is I'll find the object in Stellarium, all right? And then I'll pick, okay, that's right off, I'm looking for M51, so I know it's right off the handle of the Big Dipper, so I know where I'm going to. So then I'll move my telescope to that area, find that big star, and then you got a star hop to find the object out there. Now, if you got an SCT, when you're moving this way, the stars go the opposite direction, or if you're going up, they go down. Real confusing. You know, it's real hard when you're trying to visually move it and stars are going the opposite direction, you're trying to star hop. A way to cheat that is the 45-degree true view diagonal. So when you move right, the stars will look like they're going right, and you move left, they'll go the right direction. Same, up is up and down is down. $45, real easy, but it helps when you're trying to do that. Or if you're looking at the moon and you want to see something on the moon, it goes the direction you're trying to go, at least in your viewpiece. Next slide. All right, so like I said, I want to find M51. Well, I know it's right off the end of this star in the Big Dipper. Next slide. Next slide. Okay, so I find that big star. I see it in the sky. I know what I'm looking for. And then I will point my telescope toward that star, so I'm in the general area. All right. Now, I'll use my Telerad, and I'll show that on the next slide on how to find it. I usually start with a wide angle eyepiece, so I can get to whatever star I'm looking for to start with. It's like, okay, I see it. And I may, depending on how far it is away, I may change eyepieces and refocus right there, or I may move over there and change eyepieces later. Because if I'm using a wide angle, I'm not going to be able to see the Messier object that well. All right. Next slide. So I'm using my Telerad. I was like, oh, okay, it's not that far out. So if I set my Telerad up and put it right on the edge of Euclid, right on the edge of the last star of the Big Dipper, I knew I got to move over to there and find that star. Well, there's this little trapezium right here too, so I can star hop here, star hop there, find that, stick in my smaller eyepiece, focus on that, and I'll be able to see M51. So that's how you star hop to get over there. Now, if you're looking at a star chart and you see how big these stars are, a lot of times when you get into your eyepiece in your SCT, they all look the same size. So it's really hard sometimes to tell which one of these stars are which. But patterns like the little trapezium right here, that helps a lot. Or some double stars, those things help you find things. But if you're just trying to star hop sometimes, it takes a lot of practice to get there. Next slide. All right, so I found my object. All right, so on the top, I use one page for the night, and I'll put all this information on top. You know, March 17th, 18th, I'm at RSOA, here's the latitude, here's the longitude, and I know my telescope aperture size, and I find M84. And I saw it at that time at night, this eyepiece, so it's 81 power. And you gotta log the seeing and the transparency, they were good. And a lot of times, I use this a lot. It looks like a small little fuzzy ball or an oblong ball, but my descriptions are pretty much the same on all of them, just because that's the way it looks to me. All right, so after I finish observing, then I move on to the next. You know, like I said, I'm still trying to find Jupiter, so I'm going to go to M83 next. Well, from M51 to M83. All right. Also, I'm doing the telescope and the bino at the same time. So when I'm doing the telescope, I'll find it and say, okay, I'll log that in, and I got a 10 power binoculars that I'm using. So there's only like 75 objects you can actually see. If you have the bigger binos, you can actually see all objects. But, okay, I just saw that, and I know it's over there, so let me find it with my binos. Okay, I actually found it, and then I'll log my binocular observations at the same time. So, and sometimes I just can't find it with the binos, I have to come back later. Next slide. So, the observing program, what I've learned. If you have a telescope where the eyepiece is at the end, as opposed to a daub where you're standing up and looking, where you can actually see things, sometimes I just can't get down low enough to catch the ones that are up in the air. In fact, I don't look at any of them, they're way up in the air. So what I do is I plan my observing, and I'm not going to look at anything above 50 degrees, because they're going to come around. So I'll plan the ones that are from the horizon up to 50 degrees on the east and west, and I'll work those first. And the ones that are up top will come around eventually. All right. So then I'll work on the western sky. I'll start on the ones like from north-northwest, west-northwest, east-northeast, that little sector, and I'll find all the stars in that area, starting at the horizon, and move them up to about 45, 50 degrees. Then I'll turn around, and I'll catch the ones in the east, and catch them. Because now I'll start higher in the sky, and work my way down, because the ones that are up here are going to be, I can't see them in a little while, so I'll work them and go back down. Then I'll turn, work my north, work my south. I may be doing a lot of them. I go, I haven't been to the west for a long time. I may wait back and catch those other ones before they set. That's the easiest way to get the most during the night. Next slide. Now, on several of the objects, you can see 2 at a time or 3 at a time. You know, so you got to be thinking of that when you're going through the program. You know, the Leo triplets, 2 of them are Messier objects, one's an NCC. This is the Andromeda associated objects out that way. So on 7 of the objects, you can actually catch 2 at a time. Makes life easier. So if you get those 15, you'll get 95 more to go. All right, back one slide quick. All right, like I said, so if you're doing a Messier marathon, I kind of focus on the west, from south to north, and try and catch all those, and they'll keep coming around. Okay, I've gotten those high as I can. Then I'll go to east, catch them, and I'll go back and kind of catch that sector. So that's the easiest way to do a Messier marathon, if you're trying to catch them all. Don't forget to mark them off when you see them, because I'll go back and go, oh yeah, I saw that already. I should have marked it off. So make sure you log things as you're going along. Next slide. All right, so we're looking to have a Messier marathon out at Rising Star on April 18th. We're going to have some solar observing to start with, do a potluck dinner. More information is going to come out on this, but this is the plans right now. We'll have some individuals, like I'll show people how to star hop. I'll have some other people actually doing Messier marathon. Then I may focus on, hey, do you want to see the Leo triplets or some other things that are real neat? So we'll have some things for everybody to look at they probably haven't seen before. Like I said, more details to come. Next slide. So how do you figure out what you want to see that night? Well, this is one good resource right here. And this will tell you, you put in the date, you put in Fort Worth, that's as close as you can get. I want to do the viewing sequence. Don't press Messier because they'll just give you by numbers, but that's not necessarily the way you want to view them. On viewing sequence, there's various databases you can choose from. I just picked this one. You can get I didn't check the images. You can show the max altitude, remarks, time of rising, various things. Once you get all that in, hit submit. Next slide. And this is what it generates. Now, I didn't include all the other stuff over to the side, but on the 18th, these first 10, we're not going to be able to see because it's too late in the year. They're too close to the sun, or they actually set before the sun actually sets. So, but you can still get 100 of them that night, and the first one you want to go to is M45 because that'll disappear first. All right? Nice program. Now, back up 1, back up 1, back up 2. All right, so everybody's wondering about that website. Everybody should have an email from me today. It has about 4 of the websites I pointed out in here. I sent them to you, so you don't have to copy them down. They're in an email I sent about 5 o'clock today. All right, if you're interested in using those. Next slide, next slide. And that is it. Questions? Yes?
Part of this is obvious, but the idea is to do this with a non-computerized
I can't hear you.
This is a fully manual alignment of the telescope, not using any built-in computer.
Right, yeah, so it's all manual, you've got to start hot, you can't use any of the automated go-to type stuff, you can't use those little phone apps to tell you which way to move your telescope, you got to use the star chart, but I use Stellarium, which is an electronic one, and you start hop to go to them. It's to help you learn the sky. Brute, yes.
Does that mean you can't set up your equipolar now? It'll use your, up, down, left, right, keypad to manually move?
Yeah, oh, so on my SCT, I use the buttons to move it back and forth. Yeah, you can do that. I just can't use, I can't use one of those little phones that you stick on your knob and says, you got to move to the right or left to help you find it. It's to help you look at star charts and find the stuff in the sky. Or if you're like Patrick, you know where they all are anyway. But me, I can find the moon 5 out of 6 times, so I'm not as good as him. Yes?
I remember several years ago, a lot of members were quite active in earning these Astronomical League awards and whatnot. But in recent years, that seems to have really slacked off. Any idea why?
I guess people aren't talking it up, but that's why I'm here to talk it up tonight.
And we appreciate that, yeah.
And like I said, Lowell did a bunch. He was the one guy. I think Bruce did the lunar. That was probably one of the last ones we got. But I'm in the process of 4 of them, if I ever just get off my butt and finish them. And as you get the certificate, they come to Matt's house, and he brings them here. And
I do, yeah.
Oh, it's been a long time. It's probably been 6 years since somebody got one, I think.
Yeah, I was just kind of wondering, why.
Well, that's why I'm here to talk it up. And we're looking at having some type of a education program. So we're going to do the Messier Marathon stuff, Messier objects and such. And then Chris and I are looking to get some other things going, like, hey, let's do the Bino one. So we're trying to get interest back in it, and that's why the class is tonight.
I'm sorry, can you say that last part again, please?
I said we're just trying to regenerate interest in it, so that's why we gave the class tonight. All right, other questions? Tom?
Yeah, I was looking at this the other day. There's actually one for urban viewing where inside a city that's light polluted. And that, for a lot of people that can't get out, that would be possibly a place to start. There's some really interesting ones. I'm looking at doing one called Astronomy Before Telescopes. And you have to learn how to do all different things. It's really, it's going to be really involved. But it's really interesting how, they found latitude and longitude back in the 16th, 17th century. It's real fascinating. A lot of history involved in that.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting ones. Like I said, there's 88 different programs, and it's like a gambit all the way across the board on what you want to use. Spectroscopy, which is, radio waves type viewing, various planets. You can go deep, deep sky binos. I mean, there's a lot of fun stuff. And like I said, you can't do them overnight. It's going to take you about a year to do them, just because there's things, they have it set up so only certain, you're seeing things that are there during certain times of the year. Other questions?
That looks like that's it.
All right. If you want to learn more about them, I'm here to talk about the programs and such, and I can help you out.
All right, everybody close their eyes for a second, because here comes the sun. Okay. Next slide, please.
Right outside.
There it is. We got a break. Yay. By the way, we have finalized the RV and the pet forms, but we've yet to put out where to find them and how to do that. We're still working on that. But right up here, I've got I've only got 10 pages, but these are the instructions for the RV form that you need to fill out, and the fee, and also for the pets, in case anybody wants to review that. The email will be coming out pretty shortly to cover the forms, to tell you where to get them and how to fill them out and how to pay. So let's take a break. hey. Anyway, all right. I guess we're at Bill. Oh, raffle. We have the raffle. Now it got quiet, right? Money and tickets and win prizes. Now for the raffle. Oh, we got a final bidder. Any more buyers of tickets? Constantine's got a deal over here, you know, half a roll for a real good price. No? Okay. Yes, we're going to do raffle. Yes.
While he's doing that, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
I was reading the RV thing. Does it have hookups out there, or is it generally?
Okay. Question in case online didn't hear. Do we have hookups and other things out there? We have skunks, armadillos, coyotes. We have 2 big white dogs. We have a nice field to park on. That's it. We'll work on that in the future, but there is nothing of hookups. You bring your own water. You take your own disposal sewer back. There's no dumping or anything else there. In fact, for those that are new, when you go out and you drink a Coke or eat some dinner, you take your trash home too. We don't have any facilities out there. You'll leave the park and there'll be a nice big green dumper there. That belongs to the landowner that's next to us. Doesn't belong to us. So basically right now we take everything back that we take out there. Yes, Tom.
For those of you, when I first went out there, I was a little bit intimidated by the chemical toilet. You kind of go in there, it's like, am I supposed to crank anything? Am I supposed to put anything in there? You just go in there and do your thing. There's nothing to crank, there's nothing to add.
Bruce told me there was some pedal that you rotated it. Only certain people can do that. Okay. Only certain people can. All right. Understand. All right. We have educated engineers that take care of that. Certified and bona fide. There we go. Don't do it if you don't know what you're doing. All right. First ticket. Okay. Let's see if I can do this without my glasses. Oh, yeah. 155222. It's 155222.
When there's a question, can you please repeat it so people online can hear?
I'll try. 1552222? Yes, 155222. We have a winner. Okay. Pick your buck. Pick your poison. Next one is one. Oh, now, wait a minute. 155232. Last 3 numbers, 232. Go check your tickets. He's probably got that one too. All right. Last 3 numbers, 232. You don't have them? Last call. Okay. New draw. 155200. There we go. Got a winner. Yay. Last 3 numbers, 219. So 155219. I'm trying to spread them apart. They're sure coming together. Last three numbers, 219. Moving on. 155202. I did. 202. No, 202, okay. 227. Who's holding out all the twos? 227. There were a lot of people that left. Yeah. Room two. Okay. Moving on. Yay, we're getting there. 195 is last three numbers. Hey! 195.
Think lower.
Even. Next time, come later. Okay, got a winner. $186. Last three numbers, 186. There we go. Just had to hang in there. 211, last three numbers. 211, got a winner. Yay. Now we're on a roll. I don't think so. Let me look. No, 195.
195, that's the one I gave you.
Yes. Oh. Yeah, I haven't called 196. Okay, last three numbers, 212.
I got those two.
212.
Right here?
Right there. Well,
Yeah.
I just now drew that one.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
I was standing here when you drew it.
Oh, okay. He's trying to fool me, guys. Playing tricks. All right. Yeah, it's got a ring. 239, last three numbers. 239. Hey, we got another winner. All right. That's it. We got to stir them each time. Let's just get the ones that are stuck to the bottom of the box. 240. 240. Yep, he's already won.
239, 240.
Oh. Go check your numbers for 240.
Yeah.
Pick another book.
Great.
Hey, what a night to come, right? Okay. We're going down a little bit. 196. Hey! I know. Okay. $204. 204, all right. We go through all the books we got? Usually not, but whatever you want to do. We'll call it. Yes, you're good. And we're going to call that one. We're going to proceed. We'll throw the remainder into the next pile. Oh. There's two down here. Huh? And the coffee cup.
Oh, you can get the coffee, yeah?
Yeah, you can get coffee cup. Now you got to get your own coffee. Okay, all right. Now let's continue on with our favorite, what's in the sky?
Hello. It's a little bit of a tribute. Oh,
Talk about the dark, keeping RSOA dark.
Yes.
huh? Did you,
I think I'll do that for Bill. Well, no, I'm gonna let Bill go and then I'm gonna, in the business end.
like an announcements or something? Okay. A little bit of, yeah, it's Bill time. Actually, it's Bruce time. So a little bit of a tribute to Bruce. Next slide here is some of his pictures. Actually, the ones that I could find of that he took. He took a lot of really great comet pictures. Aurora, Alice up there, and totality, sun, and of course the whole colander thing with the little crescents in there. Very cool. Next slide. Artemis 2. So the first time it was a hydrogen leak, and the second time it was a helium leak. So I guess we're moving down the periodic table there. So when they get to like the iron leak, I guess it blows up, right? Yeah, we won't say that. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Anyway, so April 1st is what they're shooting for, and it's April Fool's, so we'll see about that. You know, while we're talking about stuff that we're all kind of waiting to happen, next slide. I figured I'd throw that in. It still hasn't blown up yet, but this is T. Corona Borealis. Corona Borealis is back in our night sky, and any day now, any day, it's gonna go from magnitude 10 to magnitude 2. It'll be a, yes. What's the size of it? Of white dwarf? Yeah, usually white dwarf, which is actually a core of a dead star. It's usually about the size of the Earth, but with the mass of, you know, a star. Next slide. So bright comets this month. So I've been telling you about 2025 R3, and I've been telling you about 2026 A1. These are the two guys. A little green square here means that it's getting brighter. These are the ones to be looking out for. Actually, both of them, they're talking about becoming naked eye objects, especially 2026 A1. This is actually what they call a Kreutz sun grazer. And it's actually a sun grazer, basically a comet that comes in within like a certain distance from the sun. Sometimes survives, sometimes doesn't, because it's just too close to the sun. But actually, it was discovered, it was the furthest sun grazer in distance at the time of its discovery. So, and we've got 88P dimming, but still in the sky under a magnitude 10. And we've still got 2024 E1 that's still hanging in there. This picture right here is one of Bruce's pictures. This is one of 2022 E3, the ZTF comet from a few years ago. Next slide. So the new moon in March is Wednesday, March 18th. So I told you that there was an annular eclipse visible only from Antarctica last month. And as far as I can tell, this is the only picture, because, you know, probably not a big crowd in Antarctica to be witnessing that one. I read that there's like something like 96 scientists and engineers that are usually in Antarctica this time of year from different countries around the world. And yep, this is the one picture, so here it is. This is what we all missed. Next slide. And then there's the vernal equinox. So spring is springing on March 20th. That is the moment that the sun crosses the equator, the equator, celestial equator. and the Tropic of Cancer. At the Tropic of Cancer, the sun is straight overhead. Next slide. March's full moon is on Wednesday, April 5th. Great picture of the lunar eclipse from earlier, last month. Next slide. Mercury in the morning. So we got greater western elongation on Friday, April 3rd. It's going to be a morning planet again. It's a little better than it's been in recent occasions, at about 13 degrees above the horizon at civil twilight. Next slide. Occultations and close approaches. So there's only one that's less than a degree apart. And this time around, it's Mars and Neptune at 20 minutes apart. The picture we got here is from Muru, and it's the moon and the Pleiades. And it actually surprised me to see it, that like you don't think about how small the moon is or how big the Pleiades is relative to each other. The Pleiades actually really makes the moon look small in this shot, but that's how it looks. Next slide. So we've got the new moon. April's new moon is on Friday, April 17th. This is actually a picture of the crescent moon by Justin Godfrey. But wait, the big event. Next slide. It's Messier Marathon time. I was very angry when I made this slide. Very angry at the skies. So hopefully the clouds part and we get a chance to see it. So this weekend we've got, we're around new moon and stuff. It's a great time to see it. We were actually planning the event at Rising Star, but that didn't go through. So what they're talking about, like what Cy was it Cy you were referring to, was having it on April 18th. So I didn't know what the day was. I just said the whole weekend here, but stay tuned. There will be more information about that. It is about right now that it's like just possible to see all 110 of them in a single evening, and that lasts for a couple of weeks every year. Next slide. Okay, so before I get into the constellation that I'm really featuring tonight, I got to step back to Pupas. So about a week ago, there was a team of scientists who released a paper indicating that they had found pretty substantive evidence of a planet collision with another planet in another solar system. And it's this star of a very obscure name there, but in about 2021, it started, is the brightness of this star, regular star, just plain, unremarkable star, not even listed as a variable star, started varying. And it went down, it had 3 dips in its brightness, and then it started going crazy with brightness. Next slide. This is the chart. This is the optical brightness here. So there's like 1 dip, 2 dips, 3 dips, and then all of a sudden the brightness went crazy. Okay? And at the same time, this is all aligned in the timeline here, is that the same time that the brightness started going crazy, this is infrared signal. And infrared represents heat. And that's really what you're going to expect when you have 2 planets that collide. That's what they believe is happening around this star. This is a very cool thing that I wanted to share with you guys. I only found out about 3 days ago. Next slide. All right, so we're gonna wrap up. We're gonna build the final piece of the Argo Navis here. So we've talked about We've talked about Carina, the keel. We've talked about Pupus, the poop deck or stern. And now we're talking about Vela, the sails. This is one of the 17 constellations that Lakai came up with. He's also the same guy responsible for breaking up the Argo Navis. If you recall, the Argo Navis was created by Ptolemy in his Almagest in the 2nd century. And it was a problematic constellation. It's the largest constellation ever conceived. It was a problem for celestial maps because none of it never fit on a page. And so Lakai came along and broke it up into 3 different constellations. There's 7 stars with known planets, 7 stars with formal names. And an interesting and fun fact about these 3 constellations is that Vela does not have an alpha and beta designation as far as brightest and second brightest stars. Why? Because Lakai, in his star atlas, when he went about breaking up the Argo Navis, he still applied the Greek letters, the Greek alphabet. You know, it's the designation of the brightest star to the dimmest star. Is that he applied the Greek letter designation to the entire Argo Navis, and then broke it up. Not sure why he did that, but that's how it goes. So that's why you'll never know, you'll never hear about an alpha or a beta velorum, because it's not a thing. And what about Pyxis? So does anybody know what Pyxis is? Anybody? Any guesses? No? Okay, so Pyxis is another Lakai constellation. It is the compass. So the thing is that the compass lies somewhere around. He made it to associate with the Argo Navis, but not to actually represent a constellation that represented the Argo Navis. So Pyxis, even though it's a navigating compass, like one of those, a little drawing compass, it's not actually a part of the boat. Next slide. V390 Velorum. It is a star that is at the end of it's a red giant. It's at the end of its life. Came off the main sequence. Inflated to a red giant, and now it's casting off its layers to end its life. And what it's doing right now is it's ejecting its shell, which will eventually become a planetary nebula. So we're actually catching the early stages of this. Next slide. And that's a real picture of, like there's a little plus sign there. It's just saying, hey, that's where the star is, because you can't really see it. But this is an image, and it's a teeny tiny image. I mean, we're talking about half of a second in apparent width in the sky. But yeah, that's the beginning of the last throes of a red giant right there. So pretty cool. That was made with a very large telescope. The ESA's VLT. Next slide. So there's the Southern Ring Nebula. We've all heard about the Northern Ring Nebula in Lyra. This is the Southern Ring. It's a planetary nebula. It's also known as the 8-burst nebula. And it was one of the first of 2 objects that were imaged by the James Webb Telescope. Next slide. Quite beautiful. And of course, obviously James Webb Telescope with the 8 points there. So this is the image in infrared. Next slide. And then there's Herbig Haro 46 and 47. So we're not talking about stars, we're talking about what stars are creating. So her big HARO objects are basically jets that are created by stars. And basically when a star is born, we actually heard about this in a presentation a few months ago with brown dwarfs, is that in the study of brown dwarfs, they were finding stars that were newly getting born. And when you have a newborn star, it is ejecting from its poles jets that are, you know, shooting out from its poles. And as those jets, as we're talking about ionized stuff that's coming off of these jets, that it's basically illuminating any gas that happens to be in its path. Next slide. And that's what we're seeing right here. This is a Hubble shot. So what we're seeing here is basically two bow shocks at the end of these jets that are basically colliding into dust and gas matter. Next slide. So this is the crazy thing, and as we go along with modern astronomy, and we're seeing things like stars orbiting the black hole in the center of the Milky Way galaxy on a time lapse, we're seeing time lapse of other things that are, you know, seeing motion in pictures. You've probably seen pictures of like the, you know, how the Crab Nebula has been expanding over the years and stuff like that. This is the same deal right here, going from 94 to 2008. And basically this is what's going on. It's just these jets just hitting this gas, pushing this gas. It's pretty great. Next slide. Then there's the Vela supernova remnant. So its very own supernova remnant. It's also known as GUM-16. There is a nebula inside of there called the Pencil Nebula that you may have heard of before. It's a supernova that exploded a long time ago. Next slide. And that's it, kind of reminiscent of the Spaghetti Nebula or parts of the Veil. Kind of signature as far as supernova remnants are concerned. Next slide. Oh, and it's big, by the way. Go back one step. It's got an apparent size of about 8 degrees. It's big in the sky. Next slide. So there's about 44 noted deep sky objects in Vela. Good depth of them is on the skylive.com. More information from Constellation Guide, which is kind of my source for some of the base information. More about V390 Velorum, which one is that? That's the one with the dying red giant. This is a really great link to learn a great deal more about what's going on with that. And then my little bonus Pupas planet collision insight. This is a link to the actual paper, and it's fascinating. Next slide. So Bruce spent a lot of time out at Rising Star. He did a lot of mowing out there. He went out there to help with construction projects. He went out there to introduce new members to the property. Spent a lot of time out there doing a lot of mowing. And while he was out there, this is one of his images, while he was out there, he captured this. Next slide. Probably one of my most favorite captures of an atmospheric phenomenon. And just absolutely stunning. Here's the full shot of it in a second here. Full 360-degree solar halo. And how did he notice this? He just kept looking up. and we can do the same. Thank you.
Okay. Where are we at? There's my mark. Yay! We've had the drawing. Talk about what?
We're going to talk about keeping our facility dark.
I've got that in the presentation down the road. Yeah, just, let's get there. Business meeting, financial report, Constantine?
Thank you, Sam. So, good evening. A couple of things this evening. First off, our monthly treasurer's report has been pretty quiet, fairly inactive. We have a balance of a little over $47,000, and our development fund is at $3,600 right now. Our next payments for the loan are due in April. Any questions on that? Okay, let's move on to what I promised last time, which is a summary of revenue and expenses for 2025. Each year, after we summarize the year, we have a task force that comes together and goes through the finances, does an internal audit. That audit has been completed, and I'm able to today share this data with you. You can take a look at our revenues and expenses for 2025. Revenues are down substantially, and expenses are down substantially. Please recall last year was very unique in that we had a lot of development at Rising Star, so there was lots of revenue and lots of expenses that we probably won't experience routinely. Certainly didn't in 2025. The other thing I wanted to highlight for you is that we put together a budget. It's a balanced budget, but as we live through the year, it doesn't always balance out. So, for instance, in 2025, we didn't spend, or we have an excess of $7,500, whereas in 2024, we actually expensed more than what we had in revenues. So it's going to vary each year a little bit, but budgets are critical and we'll continue to have those. The next page gives you some pie charts just for fun. It's really a great way to take a look at where the revenues are coming from. It's important to appreciate that our number one revenue is, of course, membership. New members and renewing members, 39%. We did have a very healthy year as far as donations are concerned, both for the club as well as specifically for the observatory that's under construction. It's also interesting to note that 32% of all revenues pertain to Rising Star. And that's important when you take a look at the bottom pie chart. You can notice there are expenses. Rising Star Development, 24.4%. Loan repayment, 27.3%. So expenses, 65% pertain to Rising Star. And you can see how everything else fits in. There's lots of information here. This is already posted on eGroups if you want to take a look at it. If you're not subscribed to eGroups, email me, treasurer@fortworthastro.com, and I'll get you a copy of this. Any questions of me? Thank you so much.
Okay. All right, executive board, me? Okay, next slide. What have I got? Oh, I got some stuff up there. Hey. All right, the executive board met. We had a pretty good meeting, basically to create Fort Worth AS account and password spreadsheet for emergencies. Bruce passed. We're still having issues with trying to acquire passwords to get in to a lot of the stuff that's the clubs. I believe one of them we're going to have to come up with a death certificate before they'll let us in to change the master passwords because we can't find them. So this was to create something to where if this should arise the next time, we should be covered with redundancy of what all the passwords and accesses are. We're going to relook and put planning into the miser, and we've already done that. Like I said, this is what we came up with, and the date's been set. A nomination committee has already been approved. That was approved last time, but we still have to put it in place. Bruce had in his mind of some key figures, and well, we're still trying to redo that, so we're running a little behind there. The creation of a community book. Again, this is with redundancy in order to keep us trying to find things and deal with this. We're going to be dealing with this for a little while. Next slide. Did I hear something? Okay. Pass? Okay, pass. Other business? Next slide. Announcements. Patrick, are you here? Okay, we'll give him time to get down. Patrick's got a lot of stuff. Did I get this slide in order? Am I good? Is this your stuff? No. Okay, I got the slides out of order. Yeah, they're out of order the way out. Who's got the marathon, the miser? This, I got them out of order. You're not there yet. Okay, so this is the observing area for the marathon. Who sent me the slides? I was still putting this together today, so these just went in the wrong place.
Okay, folks. So with Jim McCathern's help here, we're gonna send this out later this evening, but this is a brief rundown of what's gonna happen at the Messier Marathon. So we all know what it is. It's for us all to gather and have a social and try and catch all 110 objects of Messier's catalog. Next slide, please. This is what the Rising Star observing area looks like when it's pretty busy. You can bring your telescope or not. We will have telescopes out for you all to use, at least 6, if not more. Next slide, please. But do bring comfy chair, snacks, coffees, etc. If the weather, it's springtime, so if the weather is decent, it'll be spectacular. And it's an opportunity, if you've never been to Rising Star, to go. Because there will be a lot of folks there, the sky will be spectacular, and you'll have a great opportunity to see things you won't see around here. And if you're new to the club, it's an opportunity to go out and learn, ask questions. So, next slide, please. So, the agenda, solar viewing from around 5 to 7, a potluck dinner from 7 to 8, I don't know about speeches, presentations, and instruction, but we'll be talking about, as you can see up there in the upper left, my pride and joy, the Noble Observatory will be doing show and tell on the Noble and other things, and the marathon will start earlier than 9, because I think sunset's at 20:30 or so. We'll probably start right around 8 o'clock. So, yep. And we'll include a link to a Google form for registration, and this will go out tonight. And thank you very much.
Okay, this is fun, right? What's coming up next? Okay, so we've got the Three Rivers Ranch. Is that? Okay, here's the details. Bookings and weekends, and by the way, if you haven't gone out here, this is a really dark side. I think it's a 2, almost a 1, something like that. Come on, it's a 2. Okay. Help, guys, come on. I've been out there twice. It's nice place to go, good observing. We had little questionable weather last time. Yes, Si.
Yeah, so I reviewed the contract that Bruce had, but I don't know if we ever sent it in. I don't know that.
Okay.
Katie said that all the paperwork had been completed.
Okay.
I will confirm with her.
Okay.
I reviewed it weeks ago, so I just don't remember.
In case online didn't hear it, Si was questioning if we ever did send it in. It's been believed it has been sent in, but we're going to verify that. All this information was sent to me by somebody. So it's a great site to go. The first time I went, we had coyotes like from across the street. That was kind of cool. Yippee. So there are 6 cabins. And you can see the cabins there on the side. They're $250 for the weekend, paid by the occupants. And usually there's enough people that want them that we have to have a raffle. Dining hall, $125 per day. 1 large bunkhouse for men, $150 per night. 1 small bunkhouse for women, $225.
Are those $150 per night per person?
I think that's the cost of the whole bunkhouse, isn't it?
The only thing that a person would pay for lodging-wise would be the 6 cabins if someone wants.
Okay, that's the only thing the members pay for is the individual cabins.
The bunkhouses, the dining hall, all of that is paid for by the club.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I needed clarification on that too. Yeah. Club costs about $800 plus 40, excuse me, to 60 for Saturday dining for the volunteers. Payment usually made shortly before the weekend in case there's something that came up. But this is really something to plan for. Next slide. Who's coming up next? I don't know. Let's find out. Next slide. Yay! I got that one right.
Okay, so we got a few star parties come up. I know next week we got 2. I'll post these tonight or tomorrow. But the first one up is next Friday. It's for South Lake Associated for the Gifted and Talented. It's a group amongst the South Lake School District. And then, let's see, what was that? And the next day we'll be doing a star party for Girl Scouts. They got a camp down near Nemo, which is actually about 10 miles just east of Glen Rose. We've been there many times before. It's pretty decent skies. There's always a well-attended event. And then on the 9th, Mountain View campus is going to do a star party, or kind of a solar/star party on the 9th, so put more details on that. And then April 10th, we'll be up in the town of Argyle. They want to mark the International Dark Sky Week. It's apparently during that time, and they want to do a star party for that. So next slide. And then our next Dinosaur Valley Star Party will be Saturday, April 11th. And then I know 18th we do have the Messier Marathon, but for those who are unable to make it and would still like to help out, we got one at Mineral Well State Park for a family camp, but I'll be out that one. So again, I'll post these on the e-group as we get closer. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Tandy Hill, let's find out. Who said we can't have fun? Hey, it's right.
All right, good images up there. Our 2026 Tandy Hill Star Party is kicking off with our first one this coming Saturday, the 21st. Sunset's about 7:40 p.m. We will have the gates open at 6, so people that want to come out for solar viewing, if anybody wants to come out earlier, let me know and we'll get the gates opened earlier. We'll have Jupiter and Uranus up all night with us. Venus will be there, I think it's set somewhere around 8:30. If the trees are not in the way, we should be able to do that okay. So I like to tell people that are new to the club, that are looking for telescopes, come on out. We have all kinds out there. If you have a telescope and need some help in setting it up and aligning it, whatever, come on out. We have people that'll be glad to help you. So again, this coming Saturday, the 21st at 7:40 p.m. for sunset. Oh, by the way, forecast right now is 90 degrees, 90 degrees plus, so it should be nice and warm.
Okay. While there are no hard rules for Tandy Hills, there are appropriate things that we all should consider, not only for them, but for our site also, for Rising Star. Use red lights. Always use red lights to avoid disturbing other night visions. If anybody's been out, get their eyes adjusted and then have a headlight hit you, you're blind for a while. If you must, I split that. How did I do that? M-U-S-C split. Okay. If you must use a white light, do so sparingly and ask first. Notify people that it's going to happen. You just can't drive around in the dark. You're going to run over somebody, you're going to run over some equipment. So we have safety concerns, plus we have courtesy that we need to be aware of. Avoid bright light sources. Do not use flashlights unless they're red. Car headlights or other bright lights sources that could affect other night vision. Again, I would rather have someone be discomforted by a little white light than running over somebody that's walking the field. We have to use our heads in doing this. We've had some incidences out at Rising Star. Fortunately, it's been people getting upset because the lights have been thrown on versus somebody getting run over. We don't want equipment damaged or people run over. There's two sides to this story and to these regulations. By the way, there's no ticket writers out there. It's on us to regulate ourselves. Respect equipment. Do not touch or move telescopes or other equipment unless instructed by an astronomer. Man, that got split up. I don't know what happened. Anyway, be quiet. So one of the rules we have on the RVs and the generator at night, I was really for having the generators, but I understand that they do disrupt the quiet and the peacefulness of the club, so I went along with that. I realized that, and I had to give up my AC in the summertime at night. Maybe. Anyway, Bruce, by the way, Bruce was really in line with, he had me fighting his fight because Bruce wasn't that away. He was all club and what the club wanted and was a very quiet man. But behind the scenes, I was his knight. And we both understood peace and quiet at night. Daytime, fire them puppies up. Be courteous with pets and children. If you bring them, don't let them run loose. That's the bottom line of that. Now, there was an incident that I want to address that occurred at Rising Star. Our neighbor, Sandy, I think Sandy is our neighbor's name. Okay, when I was out there last, which was just a couple days ago, she was walking up. I said hi, and she was sorry to hear Bruce in conversation and so forth. And then she mentioned that there was an issue the other night that her daughter, who works very late at night, was coming into their gate. Where their gate is next to ours. And when they pull in to get on their property to go to their home, their lights go right into Rising Star. Their car lights go right into Rising Star. A few of our members, I don't know who they are, she didn't know who they were, actually made comments to her and tried to instruct on her that you couldn't run lights when they were out there observing. She actually tried to drive in with running lights, and she said we just couldn't do it. Here's my point. We cannot regulate, tell, or instruct another landowner what they can and cannot do. They can do whatever they want to. They get pissed off, they can put a telephone pole up with a huge monstrous nightlight that lights half of their property and the entire Rising Star if they want to. They have that right. It's their property. And nobody can do a thing about it. So be courteous to the neighbors. Tolerate some of their misunderstandings, and just kind of accept that these kind of things are going to happen, and we need to be understanding of them. Again, I'm off my soapbox. Let's go to the next slide. Okay. Tandy Hill Star Party. Yeah, we already got that scheduled. And, the 1689 Foundation outreach. There you go. Did I get the right slide up here? Oh. Okay, you got it.
Just one comment about our neighbors, the Ross family, is Tom and Michelle will tell you, these people are super. They do a lot for us that we as club members don't know. They watch our place like a hawk. So we need to bend over backwards when they need assistance. They're just too nice of people to get agitated with. So anyway, on to 1687. We had our third 1687 event for the Epilepsy Women's Retreat. That's the third time this year for this group. They ask for us whenever we come out. I want to thank Renvry Smith, who's not here, but she lives out that way, and she is becoming more and more confident in her star viewing with her binoculars. Peter Tiarino was out to help. Tom Schneider was out to help. And special thanks to John Russell, who I don't see here today. I don't know if he's online. And to Sam for coming out last minute Saturday evening. For those, Ben Hudgens usually helps us out. He is not up to snuff. So if you guys are thinking about him, please do. And probably wouldn't hurt if you think enough to give him a buzz or a text during the daytime. So we've had 3 this year, and they're great experiences. And I'm sure we're going to have a lot more. We don't have anything scheduled as yet, but we'll probably have a couple or 3 more before it gets really hot and before the sun sets after 9, hopefully. So, thank you very much.
One more thing about the foundation. I went out there to help out. It's the second time I've helped out, and it was the same group last year. But I don't know if I'll come out again, because Randy, the lady with the binoculars, right? Ronnie? Renby, anyway. It cost me some money, because she showed me her binoculars, and I looked through them, and $587 later, I now have a nice 25 by 100 pair of binoculars coming. So I don't know if I'll come again. Anyway.
I do appreciate Stan and Jonathan helping out.
Yeah, we did the best we could. At least I did. All right.
And another thing, it was our second opportunity to do remote astronomy, third opportunity to do remote astronomy from the Noble. The first one was a flop. The second one was much better, and we're just getting better. It's just super exciting.
Okay. These slides I put in here just to have as part of the slide presentation. This is what I turned into a video. So you can just go and skip through these. Next one. That's the last one. Skip over that one. Okay. April's presentation. Bill's got some work to do, but we'll get that out as quick as we can. It's on the launch pad, I'm sure, and he's ready to go with that. Next slide. Okay, after tonight's meeting, for those that don't know, there's a club invitation for the social house. Yes? Michelle. Did I miss? Yeah. Michelle? Speak No, here. You got to jump on me, Michelle. You got to, hey, I'm over here.
I'm too short. I just wanted to let everybody know, if you haven't heard, Palo Pinto Mountains State Park opened on March the 1st. Tom and I have been out there a couple of times, once for observing. We helped out one of the rangers last Saturday for a constellation presentation that she was doing. We had about 20 people, 20 to 25, who were there for the presentation, and we brought our scopes, you know, and she is very open to having members of our club out there as we schedule some star parties out there over the next few months. So I will keep you informed on that. But the viewing was great for anybody who's been in the club long enough to have been out at the park before it went under construction back in 2012, 2013, 14, those years. The star field is still just magnificent. It was beautiful. They are measuring out at about between a Bortle 2 and a Bortle 3 right now. And if you go there to observe, I think it may have been Ted who put something on there about observing in the day use parking area. We were down there at the trail, it's called the main trailhead. There's a loop down there, and that's where our presentation was Saturday. You've got clear skies. You've got the tops of trees actually helping to shield some of the glow on the edges of the horizon, but it's dark. They didn't put any parking lot lights down there. There's not a light on the bathroom. It's dark. So it'll be a great way for us to observe and reach out to the public in that direction. Yes.
What's the protocol for getting in? Do you have to make an advance reservation, or can you just show up and pay an entrance fee and go back there, observe?
At the moment, you would want to make a reservation ahead of time, as far ahead of time as you know you're going out there. There have been people all over the state who have been waiting for this park to open. On the New Year's Day hike, there was a family that came up from San Antonio just to hike in the park for the first time. And so they have been, even their day passes have been, on the weekends, have been snapped up just like that, several days in advance. So if you can plan ahead, I would go ahead and reserve your pass as soon as possible. Day pass is $7 per person. If you have a Texas State Parks pass, that is waived. I think, again, I think it was Ted who put on the email chain that the ranger he spoke with said that you would need to reserve some sort of a campsite, like a primitive campsite, to stay overnight. Yeah. Yeah, and that site I checked was like $12 a night just to reserve.
If you have a day pass, will you be able to stay like late and then like leave at like 10 o'clock?
You can leave at 10, yes. Technically, it's Palo Pinto Mountains State Park. Palo Pinto Mountains State Park. It is in Strawn, Texas. It's about halfway between here and Abilene. It's an hour north or an hour west of Fort Worth.
A couple of miles west of Chicken Fried Steak.
Yeah. If you know where Mary's is in Strawn, it's just right down one of those roads. It's built beautifully. They used the stone that they actually got from Gordon, Texas. When I walked into the restrooms, it was like, I camp. These are not your CCC built restrooms. These are very nice. So they did do a beautiful job with the park, and they tried to take everybody into consideration because they've been working with astronomers, they've been working with equestrians, they've been working with the Audubon Society and bird watchers. So they have worked real hard to make this park fit everybody's needs.
3 cheers for Tom Roth, Michelle Thiessen, for fostering the relationship that we have with Palo Pinto. I can't pronounce it, but Palo Pinto, they've been working on that for almost 4 years.
Yeah. And if you do have any questions on it or any comments, direct them to me. I've been taking a position on the Partners Board. We're the group that works with the state park to help them figure stuff out.
Now, I know what happened, okay, because we've had Palo Pinto up there for ever, seems like to me. And I deleted the slide on the last minute when Bob's stuff got misplaced. So I actually had it in there and it said, yay, it's open. I didn't have the information, but I did have a slide, and I'm guilty.
So what happened to the slide for the nominating committee?
Well, I missed another slide, by the way.
So real quick, I know we're running short on time, but it is coming up time for our nominating committee. As it was mentioned, the nominating committee has been created. It's Cy Simonson, myself, Chris Ashford, who's one of our directors, he's online, Christian Pensick. We are the nominating committee, and we need volunteers. We need a president, we need a vice president, we need a secretary, possibly a treasurer, and 3 directors. So I have a sheet down here. We probably don't have a lot of time for questions, but if you are interested at all in volunteering to take one of these positions, please put your name here and your phone number and what position you might be interested in, and we will call you and tell you what that position entails. But we really do need volunteers. Our club cannot exist without a board of directors. So are there any quick questions at all?
I do. This is the first meeting that I'm attending. I just wanted to ask, what is the best parking strategy for this meeting? Where do most people park?
Parking strategy? Just right out here? I mean, there's a little booth when you come in, but there's nobody in there. Just park right out here. We pay for our club to park there. Just right outside here.
It's closed because of construction.
You can come down that street from the back, from the other end.
Come down this street.
I don't know the name of that street.
Follow up what she said, so if the sheet doesn't have any names at the end, we'll fill it out for you.
Yep. Oh, and you know, just think, guys, you ever wanted to rule? You know, this is your opportunity. You ever dream about controlling? You know, this is your opportunity. Fill out the sheet. Let's get some names in there. Yes.
Hey, guys, I've been out to Rising Star. I'm fairly new, and I was scared when I went out there about lighting up the area. I have a Ram 2500 pickup. You open a door, and it's like 17 lights. It's crazy. I went into Chat GPT, and I said, how do I turn out the lights in my truck? Put the name and the model and the year and everything. And it told me how to do like 3 things, including blackout. So I additionally kept checking, and basically any car after year 2000, you can go in and program your interior lights and your lights like under your mirrors, side lights, interior lights and stuff. And that would really help to try to keep make the site dark. Also, I know some people have been out there with computers, and I've seen people with computers in rough totes. That really works. Or just use a red, get a red filter.
Or you can use the program Backyard Red. It'll make the screen red.
Yeah, there's all those options. I found on Amazon a little tent where the computer goes in the tent. But anyway, safety first, lighting second. That's my rule. I have a saying when people come on my boat. I have a boat. I take guests out. First rule, nobody drowns. That's boat's first rule.
I'm sorry, what?
First rule of my boat is nobody drowns. That's it. White Rising Star, nobody gets hurt. Right? I guess we're done. Oh, okay. Oh, we're not done yet.
One thing no one mentioned, did y'all hear about this massive fireball that appeared over Ohio this morning? It made the national news.
Okay.
They'll probably have more information on all the astronomy websites and everything about the angle, boom, and it was heard by thousands and thousands of people. Wow.
But Bob, you're ruining my control, you know, I want to rule. Anyway, he's right. I make a motion that this meeting close. I have a second? I second. Hey, it carries. Oh, all say aye. Aye. We're done. Those